I'm here today to talk to you about evergreen funnels. Now, if you run your group program in an evergreen format, such as I do, I enroll clients on a daily, weekly, monthly basis into my group program. Then you need marketing and sales systems that provide you with this number of clients on an ongoing basis. And when we then start to look at, okay, so what do we need our marketing and sales systems to do? This can lead some people to use some tactics that can feel pushy, manipulative, and looking transparency. And I actually asked in my Facebook group, I said, when it comes to evergreen funnels, what are the things that really piss you off that people do? And I have a whole list of them in front of me. So, one of the challenges, and I'm going to talk you through some of the things people hate. But first, one of the challenges with Evergreen is there is no real start date. So when we run a cohort program, we say, okay, we're starting on this date, and there is natural urgency because the start date is going to pass, and if you don't join this by the start date, you're going to miss out. And then you often have natural scarcity in that you might have a set number of places for that cohort, for that group. So you can say there's 15 spots, there's 20 spots, there's 5 spots, whatever. So with a launch-based approach, you have natural scarcity and urgency. And also with a launch-based approach, many people can be very manipulative and pushy. With Evergreen, we lose the deadline. And a lot of people think they lose the scarcity, but I'm going to actually share what I think is a very ethical way to provide natural scarcity and authentic scarcity. So selling Evergreen is harder. And where I see a lot of people go wrong, and where a lot of people say to me, oh, Evergreen doesn't work, Gemma, people don't buy without a deadline or without urgency. This is utter bullshit, right? I run a successful program that I enroll 5 clients a month into without any of those pressure tactics. So, what are some of the pressure tactics that people don't like? Firstly, false scarcity. This is when you say you have X number, but actually you would keep taking on people beyond that. Or snaky bonuses. This is where you add bonus after bonus to make it seem like such a good deal that you're going to miss out if you don't grab this. And if you don't buy by this date, you're going to miss out on these bonuses. But the reality is, they actually never go to the sales page and remove those bonuses. That's why it's snaking. Another major complaint was lack of transparency. So these like very long, complicated sales pages that obscure the pricing, inundate you with bonuses that don't add real value, and offer, and this is my pet peeve, those timed upsells, or they give you your own false deadline. You have to buy in this time period. Otherwise, if you don't, you lose that price forever. And this is very popular with like ClickFunnels and stuff like that. Like everyone's on their own time journey. Now we know this works, okay? But there is a point where you have to decide your ethics. And I know that doesn't sit right with me. So if somebody else goes down the funnel tomorrow, they're on a different countdown timer. And the reason this seems unethical is because the product is still there. The product is still there to buy, just the business owner has decided that they're going to use that tactic to push you to buy instead of really learning how to market and sell their product from an internal place of why does your customer actually need this. Another pet peeve was forced video views. So you have to watch this video. You can't skip it. You can't even change the speed of it. You have to watch this video. And then pop-up messages, whether it's like, Sarah from Clacton just bought, Ian from Basingstoke just bought, all of this designed to create that sort of rush. You've got to buy it before it goes. The final one was those checkout experiences where they offer you so many upsells. Do you want this? And then on the next page, do you want this? It is pretty much agreed amongst us ethical marketers that this doesn't feel good. So if you have a feeling that something doesn't feel good, don't use it. Don't ask your customers to buy in this way. There's one more. Automated webinars, pre-recorded webinars that pretend that they are live, right? That is for me the slimiest of slime. That's just a fucking lie. Okay, so this stuff doesn't feel good. But if we run if we run an evergreen program, we do need consistent clients, right? If we're going to sustain our business and all of that. So in my experience, and I teach this, this is what I do, that there are 3 parts to your funnel. I hate the word funnel. I don't know a better word for use it. There are 3 parts to your funnel that when you get right, and there's key bits that you can automate, means that you can create a very loving, ethical journey to buy from you. And I was interviewing a client yesterday on a case study, and that was the main mindset shift she shared after going through my program, was this idea that her nurture journey now is so lovingly curated. She feels so good about the path she takes people on. It's just a warm hug. Like, I know if people come into my world, they have this amazing experience, and some of them are going to buy from me. But I also think if you're going to really step into ethical evergreen, you have to let go of like obsessing about conversions, because I just don't find that obsessing about conversions and like how many people bought from that workshop or how many people bought from that launch in an evergreen model is the right mindset. For me, it's how can we ethically get our message to more people? How can we carefully curate that nurture journey? And how can we provide consistent opportunities for them to buy, which don't just require them going to a sales page and taking action, because we know the conversion stats on sales pages are so low because it's so easy just to read it and think I'll do that later. So we have to sell more consciously, and that's what I'm going to show you. This isn't rocket science, right? So like I was mapping out this training thinking, I don't know, I'm just going to tell you stuff you already know, but even if you know it, I find most people don't do it. They might be like, oh yeah, I know I need to be doing those things. I'm like, why aren't you? Why haven't you done that? Before I show you the steps, there's a pre-step that you have to make sure is in place. The pre-step to your ethical evergreen funnel is that you are selling something that is a bleeding neck problem, that is that someone is internally motivated to solve. If you try and sell something that people only do when they are externally pushed to do it, they don't really want to do it, it's not coming from them, or it's not actually that big a problem, it's very much nice to have, and you try and sell that in an evergreen format, my guess would be you're really going to struggle to make a sustainable amount of money from this. So for me, an evergreen program is best placed where it's a bleeding neck problem. Let me give you an example. I've got a smudge on my glasses, it's really annoying me. I'm going to use my niche as an example. So I help people create group programs and scale them in an evergreen format. Now, why are people internally motivated to do this piece? Mainly, one of them is when you get fully booked with one-on-one. So you get to a point where you've hit an income ceiling and you're on the road to burnout because you're like, oh my God, now I've got all of these clients and I don't have any more hours to work and I'm not making any more money. So I have to consider another model, and a group program is one of those options. And the other group that have this real internal motivation is they are running their group in a cohort and they are so burnt out from that model, or they had a failed launch, that's another really common one, that they want my help to change the model to something more sustainable. Both of these are internally driven. I don't need to give someone a start date for them to want to do that work, because the benefit of doing that work is greater than the pain of them staying there. If they stay there, they're either going to burn out from launches or they're going to burn out from one-on-one and they can't make any more money. They have to change something. So your best niche is aimed at clients who have to take action because the pain is so great, not just could take action. And if you don't have that foundational step in place, the next 3 things I talk to you about are going to be really fucking hard, right? Because people don't need the thing enough. So if you're in that nice to have bracket, I want you to look at your niche and then look within the niche at who's in the most pain and who needs it the most and who is most internally motivated to do the work. Let's draw an ethical evergreen funnel. So let's call it ethical. Even though I used to be a teacher, I really have terrible online handwriting. Okay, so I wish there was nicer language for this. New leads, these are new eyes on your business. And this starts with a lead magnet. Now, a lead magnet, you'll have heard this, a freebie. It's the best way, just a simple PDF, not an audio, not a 20-minute video, literally just a simple PDF that serves your clients in the first micro step in the thing you help them with. They need this thing. They're looking for this thing. If they got this thing, you would help them substantially, even if they didn't buy your service. It is your free gift into the world, right? And that gets them on to your email list. Now, your goal with your lead magnet, and this is what I tell all of my clients, is to get 100 new leads every single month. Now, how do you do that, right? That's the challenge. And this is what most people don't do. And they wonder why they don't have enough clients. There are 3 ways. You're either going to do it organically, which is slow and fucking hard. You're going to do it through partnerships, which is where you're going to go find other people with audiences and you're going to offer to serve their audiences in some way. Let me come do a free training. Let me come do a paid training. Let's do a collaboration. Let's work together in some way and let me give you my gift to your audience. And then you're going to say to that audience, hey, and when we're talking about this, oh, I just have the perfect free guide. That's the first step for you to take, right? It's a gift to the world. I know there are some of my ethical entrepreneurial colleagues who feel that even offering a lead magnet isn't ethical. We're all somewhere on the ethical line, right? I don't agree with this personally. I think my guides are a really good stepping stone for people to understand the model I use. And the invitation is to come onto my email list. They can unsubscribe at any time. So for me, I feel good about this. You've got to decide. So we talked about how do you get the 100 leads? You either do it organically, you do it through partnerships, or you do it through paid ads. I personally do it through paid ads. I've done it for years. I might explore more partnerships in 2025, but right now, paid ads work really well for me and it takes a job off my to-do list. My paid ad is very simple. Obviously, it costs me money, but it gets people onto my email list. That's the first step in your evergreen funnel. If you don't have that step, if you are 100% reliant on social media, for me, your funnel is already weak because you don't own that data. Your account could be shut down at any time. The algorithm can change and all sorts of stuff can happen, which basically means that your people don't see your stuff. So for me, your email list is the most reliable backbone of your evergreen funnel. Okay, so this one's step 1. Let's talk about step 2. Now we're going to curate this journey. We're going to lovingly curate. And this is why I love email lists. Imagine I am brand new to your world and you get to say, I'm going to chronologically arrange my content to take you through everything you need to hear for where you are at right now on this journey. So for my niche, say you join my email list and I'm like, you're probably trying to decide which one-to-many model you're going to use. So let's discuss the pros and cons of memberships, group programs and courses. Here's my personal experience. Here's why I shut down my 6-figure membership. Here's why I really didn't like the membership model for my business. Here's what I found with group programs. Here's the businesses I think group programs work best for. Here's all the models I've tested. Here's the price points, the lengths, the formats. Here's why I love it as a teacher. Here, all of this stuff that I know my clients need to get their hands on. I am the person sharing that in a nice chronological order. Now, ideally as well though, we want to build connection, right? So as well as that expert stuff of let me show you the path, I'm also going to tell them about me and my journey. And I'm going to link them to any social stuff I have or YouTube or blogs, whatever your process is, are all going to become part of this ecosystem. And the idea is to have a body of content that does the heavy lifting for you. And you can automate that. So you then have an automated sequence, could be 30 days long, could be 6 months long, that takes people through every step of that nurture journey, showing them your path, your values, your beliefs. And when you get that automation in place, you're going to significantly reduce your workload. And most people don't do it. So we're going to automate. But then when people have finished that, spelling automate wrong, have finished that automation, they're going to go onto your weekly rhythm. Is that how you spell rhythm? Rhythm. And your rhythm is the content you're creating week on week. So if I create a new training in my Facebook group or on YouTube, I'm going to share that to my email list or my Monday morning musings, whatever it is. So we have automation first, and then they go into your weekly rhythm. But then We need a way to get them to take action. Yes, we can do sales emails. Yes, we can invite them. We can do PSs. We can say, hey, do you want to join my program? But in my experience, for an evergreen program, that isn't enough. There has to be another step that commands them to take action, to say, if your internal driver is strong, if you really need to do this right now, here's the step you need to take. And this is like a conversion step. Again, I hate this word conversion. Now for my business, I have a couple. So I run a monthly workshop. I invite people to a sales call. 3 times a year, I run like a video series. And all of these are conversion steps for my most engaged subscribers who are reading my emails, who are maybe reaching a point where actually this is urgent for me to take a step. And in none of this is there a push. In no workshop am I saying you have to join now to get this price. But I do say this. I enroll 5 people a month into my program. That's the truth. That's the real scarcity. The reason I keep it at that number is because I have obviously a program that on average, between 30 and 40 people at any one time. I don't want to add 15 people at once. It would completely disrupt the dynamics, but also I don't have space. So I have the real scarcity of I have 5 places each month. Don't worry though, if you can't get a space this month, you can join next month. But already just using a number in sales, right, helps people to understand, okay, like there is a fixed number and I can join any time. And I spend a lot of times in my workshop and sales calls and video series helping people figure out when the right time is for them. Now, sometimes my clients say to me, what do you do, Gemma, if they say, or not now? I'm like, I commend them on making a decision that was the right decision for them. And I help them figure out when the right time would be. And yes, that means that you will have some conversations that are a not now, but you can sleep well at night knowing that you sold listening to their priorities, not pushed your agenda forward and gave them a false stat, told them that spaces are running out, or gave them 10 bonuses that were going to disappear if they didn't join now. That's not to say you can't leverage a bonus or 2 if you want to, but you have to consider the balance of pushiness and ethics, right? And where it sits with it. For example, one strategy I've used towards Christmas, when people are a bit hesitant about joining and wasting time when everyone's in that festive spirit, is I say to people, hey, look, if you join now, I'll make your start date January, but you can start now. So these are ethical ways we can provide a better service and encourage people to take action if it's right for them without using manipulative, pushy tactics. And honestly, creating an ethical funnel is as simple as that. And when we come to refining your funnel, we're looking at creating better lead magnets, creating better experiences, and creating better workshops and opportunities for people to talk to you about it. And when you have those 3 steps in place, for my business and my client's business, as long as you're adding people at the top of your funnel, you will have a nice flow of clients coming out the end. If you found that useful, I'd love to know in the comments what resonated with you. Thanks for watching.